My neighbor has a 16-year-old daughter, and she just got her first job.
Yeah, okay.
And it's at a movie theater. Oh. And she's ecstatic. And I got to admit, I was kind of jealous. I used to get, I was working on the radio in Myrtle Beach. I used to do the voice recording back when you actually called a phone number and it would tell you what movies were showing. And I used to go do that for him every Thursday night after I got off the air. And then I got to sit there with them and watch all the new movies because they would go through them and make sure they were running okay. So we would sit and watch every new movie that was coming out that Friday. I'd be there till 8 o'clock in the morning.
It used to be cool to see how movies were put together.
Yeah.
Because I never did. I had I had a movie critic on one of my shows, and he would go do that. And I never took advantage of it until, I went and I wanted to see a movie. I believe it was one of the Spider-Man movies, and I was with a couple of other people that worked at the radio station I was working at, and I'm like, I'm not going to use all right, I'll use the radio thing. So I called, and I didn't think about seat placement. I was just like, I didn't want the movie to sell out before we got there. So I said, hey, am who I am. Can you maybe hold 3 tickets for me? I'll pay for them when I get there. I just don't want it to sell out. And they said, sure, no problem. So I came in and paid for the tickets. We were the last 3 left seats in the left front row. And I was miserable the entire time. And I said, never again. So my critic, Greg was his name, said, why don't you just come watch movies with me? And I saw that. They used to come in these giant, how would you describe them, Rick? Because you've seen them. They're massive, big circle, almost like pallets of film that they had to load together and stack and put everything in and cut it together.
Yeah, they built it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really cool, but we got to watch them in the empty theater. And let me tell you, when you watched a movie before it comes out in an empty theater, you become spoiled.
Yes, absolutely. I was, too. But I mentioned before, my wife's family used to own Flickers theaters, and she did that.
Oh, really?
She has built those movies.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd come in, multiple containers.
Yeah. And you have to assemble whatever trailer goes in front.
Yep.
It's a process.
Yeah, now it's all digital. It's a piece of cake. They don't need people anymore.
Open a WAV file.
Yep. So anyway, I was just like, what's that thing you've never done? And it doesn't, like, Kelly, you were working in a video store. I mean, this girl's going to be working at a movie theater. It's not like, you're going to get filthy rich from this job, but just something fun, any job. And it could be a serious job, but for one day, if you could do any job for one day.
What video store did you work in?
It was called Video Movies Unlimited. It was owned by a man named Sam, and he owned 3 locations.
Were you the counter girl?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't think there's another job there. What's the other job at a video store? Weren't you the counter girl at your video store?
No,
what were you?
Not. I guess I was. I mean, I guess that's what I was. I checked people out and in.
Yeah.
But don't you do everything else in the store too?
Yeah, you kind of do everything.
Right?
Behind the counter.
Yeah.
I was always envious because, being the 90s kid, I wanted to work at Blockbuster, and it never happened.
Oh.
I always wanted to be the Blockbuster person.
Where did you work?
At a locally owned video store.
It's better. Always work local if you can.
Yeah, but everybody would come in and go,
Blockbuster has this.
I was going to say, you guys only have 2 copies of this. Blockbuster has 10.
It's a great job, though. It was such a fun job. It was before I ever had a VCR. I was, 21 or something, and I got to take home. Do you remember the big suitcase VCR that you could rent at the video store? They would rent you a VCR.
Oh,
it came in a suitcase.
I didn't have that.
Yeah, and so if we had any left over at the end of the night, we could take them home and use them and watch movies. So, oh my gosh, it was the greatest job.
I didn't have it like that. We didn't have that. We just had movies and video games. I was always pissed when the one kid was late with the video game that I wanted to play.
And you didn't rent the video game systems?
No.
Oh, wow. Yeah, every video store I ever went to rented them. We rented it before we ever owned a VCR from Grove City Home Video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, you little bastard.
What?
You've had Final Fantasy number 7 on PlayStation 1 out for 2 weeks. You need to bring it back.
2 weeks? That was a big game, man.
Doesn't matter.
That took a while.
Buy it.
That took a while, that game.
All right, if I could do any job in the world for one day, I tell you exactly what it'd be. I would sit in a writer's room of a television show. That would be the greatest job in the world.
That's cool.
Just to be with all those creative minds to come up with, script after script. Oh, wouldn't that be cool?
And for me, I'm going to act in that TV show.
Okay.
That's what I want to do.
All right, yeah. What about you, Lewis?
Oh.
One day, any job you want.
Tara says she would love to spend the day as a horse trainer. It's always been a dream job ever since I can remember, but horses are expensive, so I would get to go the whole day without talking to people.
But that didn't answer Kelly's question.
I know, I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
Do you want us to come back and get you?
Well, I'm going to take a break.
Because I think you have to realize that the people where you work make a big deal. So if you're not working, you might pick a job, but if the people there suck, it would ruin it. But we're only talking about one day.
Yeah,
man, bro, $1 in the jar. Get to the freaking point, will you?
You're going way too deep.
$1 in the jar.
Just imagine everybody there's awesome to work with.
Fine, I'd be a porn star for a day.
Oh, right. Okay. 99700, text us if you want to call in. 1-800-821-9970. If you could work any job for one day, what would it be? Oh, the discussions that happen off the air are always the...
All right, we're talking about what you would do and what, like a job you could do for one day, like dream job. And of course, Lewis says he wants to be a porn star, so gross. And so I said, well, enjoy all the things that are being crawling all over your crotch. And then Thick is like, well, they get tested once a week for all STDs. How are you privy to that information?
I read all about it. Doing some field work 20 years ago.
Yeah, what do you think? I'm moonlighting?
Needed a backup plan in case this radio thing didn't work out.
I mean, my wife likes it when I make extra money, but I don't think she's going to go for that.
Would you be sea bass? Would that be your porn name?
Sea bass? My gosh. I only fish for largemouth bass. Okay. Well, no, I fish for smallmouth bass, too. Yeah, but we did have a couple people did mention the whole porn thing.
Is it just an 8-hour day, or could you? Because if that might be my one day, I might want to put in some overtime. Sir, you've shot 23 videos today. I can do one more.
Wesley wants to be, he doesn't want to be in the movie. He just wants to be a fluffer.
Gosh, you want to fluff Lewis?
No, he said on a lesbian porn set.
Okay.
So I don't think they need fluffed, man. All right. Anyway. Sam wants to be a marine biologist for one day.
Joe wants to be a cameraman in a porn movie.
Oh, jeez. JD Marie would love to be a zookeeper. That would be a fun job for a day. I could get into that for a day.
A zookeeper.
Yeah.
Hanging out with like a lot of work, but
well, I mean, if I don't want to just sit around and shovel crap,
that's part of the job, man.
I want to tend to the animals. I want to,
Mike would like to be a professional bass fisherman in a tournament on
Yeah.
the day of the highest payout.
Oh my
That's
gosh!
fun.
Yes, get me to Major League Fishing or Bassmasters. I would love that for a day.
Lee
I don't know
says-
why I didn't think of that.
Lee says Lamborghini test driver. Very fun.
Ramsey wants to be a fighter pilot.
Oh, that's a good one, Randy.
Yeah.
I kind of want to now. I want to give my porn career an idea, put that in the rear view, and be a fighter pilot.
All right, Maverick.
How about Sarah? Sarah says, I would do Jeff Bezos' job for a day. He makes about $1.43 million an hour. I'd be set for life with one day of work.
Do we get the money
we
from
get the
that
money?
day?
Yeah, it's a job, isn't it?
Well, if that's
All
the
right.
case, I'm going back to my porn career because then I'll have an internet shelf life for a long time.
Man.
That I can still profit off of.
All right.
Yeah, because most of the money you make that day is going to go to your STD treatment. So you do need residuals if you're going to do that for a day.
Chris wants our job for one day.
Someone said they'd like to be a lumberjack. That's a lot of labor for one day.
Now, see, he doesn't have to put $1 in.
See,
the
I
jar.
just want the gear, like the outfit. That'd be pretty cool.
Did you say lumberjack?
just like 10 seconds ago.
Did you really?
Oh, does it count if I didn't hear it either? And I thought you.
Oh, see, neither one of us heard you.
Let's see here. Dr. Dennis said referee a UFC main event fight. That's cool.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah,
Baby
that would be
Huey,
a blast.
Professional gambler from Baby Huey.
Matt said, I'm always jealous of the person who cleans tanks at aquarium. I do that for a day, or a weed tester if there's a thing for
Weed
that.
tester. Ty, and I didn't even think of, I guess I didn't know about this. Ty wants to be, understand this, a pilot for the fire department that gets to dump the water all over the place. Where they fly and dump water. All right, that's an interesting thing for a day. All right. Nikki Newland wants to be a therapist. She's much better at listening and giving advice than taking it, she said.
All right. Joe says a travel critic who reviews resorts.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So that would be fun.
Sarah would be president for a day, sign bills to free education and free health care, and open legal studies for hallucinogenics for medical use.
Well, there you go. We asked earlier, if you were president, what would you do? And there somebody gave a legit answer. How about that? All of that sounded okay to me. But nothing's ever free, Sarah. That's the problem. Somebody's got to pay for it.
This is true.
I love Justin said, Kelly told Lewis to get to the point, and he went right to pornstar. He's real.
Yes, Doug, the testosterone is kicking in. Head grower in the cannabis industry.
All right. Mike Funk is dying laughing at Kelly's term crotch crawlers.
Crotch crawlers? I didn't say that.
Susie wants to win
You said
Powerball.
enjoy all the crotch crawlers. But Lewis in the porn.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Susie said she'd like to win the Powerball jackpot for one day. That's not a job, though, is it? I mean, if it is, sign me up.
Devin said, heavy equipment operator. I'm a big kid who wants to play with tractors in the dirt. I love it. That's great.
Dan wants to know if a serial killer is a job. I'm not sure.
Did I say Tara? She wanted to be a horse trainer?
I said that when we were first talking.
Okay. All right.
Well, you asked. I saved you, see?
I didn't. Well, it sounded familiar, so I wasn't sure if I said it or somebody else said it.
John would like to be whichever CEO or CFO for a top executive that makes $1 million a day sitting behind a desk. That's not bad work if you can find it.
Okay, everybody wants to be rich. We get that. But this was more about a job that you thought would just be fun to do for a day. We were looking for it to turn into that. But that's okay. I get it. I guess I want to be Elon Musk for a day. I don't even know what is his job. What do you call that job?
Elon Musk?
Yeah, what is he called? What is Jeff Bezos
entrepreneur,
called? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur for a day. A multi-billion-dollar entrepreneur.
Evelyn would like to be a judge.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that would be fun.
Doug, a professional poker player.
Carrie, a NASCAR driver.
That'd be fun.
That'd be a good time. Yep.
Matt, the truck driver, would be a frontman for a rock band.
All right. Yeah, that definitely. Yeah, you want to be a rock star for a day, do a concert?
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Love it.
These are all great answers. All right. Well, thank you guys for all your texts. We still have your Fishing Expo tickets coming up here in just a bit. But next, Kelly, what's in the news?
Oh, dang. Let's see. Let's talk about the fact that Universal Music is ending its relationship with TikTok as of today.